coming back from illness or injury.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello, and thank you for joining me on the Hopefulist today. Getting your daily dose of inspiration and positivity, that is. Starting out with our quote of the day, which comes from Oliver Wendell Holmes. A moment's insight is sometimes worth a life's experience. With that said, I wanted to read a little something that I came across on Facebook. I shared it to the group page a couple of days ago, so if you did not have a chance to see it, this is what it says. And, some of us are getting a little older, and that really kind of limits some of the things that we can and cannot do, which also goes into the blog post for today about dealing with illness and injury and so forth. So take a listen to this, and hopefully it will resonate a little bit with you. Barely the day started, and it's already 6 p.m. Barely arrived on Monday, and it's already Friday. And the month is already over, and the year is almost over. And already 40, 50, or 60 years of our lives have passed. And we realize that we lost our parents, friends, and we realize it's too late to go back. So let's try, despite everything, to enjoy the remaining time. Let's keep looking for activities that we like. Let's put some color in our gray. Let's smile at the little things in life that put balm in our hearts. And despite everything, we must continue to enjoy with serenity this time we have left. Let's try to eliminate the afters, such as I'm doing it after. I'll say after. I'll think about it after. We leave everything for later, like after is ours. Because what we don't understand is that afterwards, the coffee gets cold. Afterwards, priorities change. Afterwards, the charm is broken. Afterwards, health passes. The kids grow up. Parents get old. Promises are forgotten. The day becomes night, and life ends. And then it's often too late. So let's leave nothing for later, because still waiting, see you later, we can lose the best moments, the best experience, best friends, the best family, the best. The day is today. The moment is now. We are no longer at an age where we can afford to postpone what needs to be done right away. So let's see if you have time to read/listen to this message and then share it. Or maybe you'll leave it for later and you'll never share it. Some wise words kind of wakes you up a little bit, gives you a little shaking to your core, which is very necessary at times. It's also very related to the blog post we will be talking about today. Just as a fun little aside, I did want to mention a story I heard over the news this morning. Authorities in Oklahoma, big trouble right now. They're in big trouble because they made inmates listen to Baby Shark on a loop as a form of torture. Yeah, that could be considered a form of torture, right? Baby Shark, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. That's right, I got it in your head for the rest of the day. Sorry about that. And some really sad news, and I'm sure that you've seen it. Eddie Van Halen passed away yesterday at the age of 65, been battling throat cancer for many years. being in the radio business, I saw some people have some one-on-one accounts of their meetings with him, and it seemed like he was just an all-around great, down-to-earth type of guy. And what a contribution he made to the world of music, and had his own style that many tried to copy. And he's just one of those that's just always going to be known as one of the greatest guitar players of all time. So our thoughts and prayers with his family, especially his son, who announced the passing and gave a very nice tribute. So I just wanted to mention that quickly. Moving on to the topic of the day. You know, we're going simple these days. We don't want anything too taxing on us. We just want something fun, something that doesn't take a lot of thought. So I thought, what's better, black or blue ink? Now, I have some Hopefulist pens, and if you've been to any of my events, you should have one. And initially, I had ordered black ink. And then I was told that black ink was on back order. And if I wanted my pens right away, I would have to go with blue. So that is what I did. I went with blue because I prefer black. I've always preferred black ink. I'm not sure why. Just if I have the opportunity to buy some pens or steal some pens from the office, which I don't get to do anymore, it's typically black. I really prefer red. I haven't written in red ink in a while, but I used to always go with red pens. But of course, those are not legal. You cannot sign official documents and checks and such with anything other than blue or black ink, I believe. Michelle says, I like both. Cheater. Marcy says, blue is the only color. Okay. Cheryl says, blue, though I much prefer my red, pink, lime green, or turquoise pens. I think it's from being a kindergarten teacher and wanting happy, cheerful colors. Gigi says, blue, for some reason, every time I write with a black ink pen, the ink gets gloppy. Sounds like a pen problem, not a you problem. Andy says, whichever I pull out of the pen cup. And Eleanor says that I prefer black ink. It looks professional. Oh, Val also chimed in with purple. Yeah, that wasn't a choice either, Val. Nobody's following the rules. It's okay. It's okay. So for my little informal poll, that is, it seems that blue edges out black by a small percentage. So most of you are preferring the blue ink. Not me. Still prefer my black ink. I've been writing in blue because, like I said, my little Hopefulist pens are in blue ink. And they're good pens. I got to tell you. They really are good pens. Write really nice. Pen itself really soft. In fact, I was somewhere over the weekend with somebody who had gone to the speech I had done over the summer, and I had given out some of the pens. She said, oh my gosh, that is my favorite pen. I was like, they are really good pens, aren't they? So hopefully I will get a chance to give more of them out in the near future. Moving on to the blog post for today. When you are sidelined by an injury or illness, hopefully we are no longer taking our health for granted since the onset of COVID. We all know now that even if we are living our most healthy lives, we can still get knocked down with some sort of virus that could be potentially life-threatening. Hopefully it won't take a dramatic illness or injury for you to realize just how much your body does for you every day. I finally got my first pickleball game in this week after 3 months. If you recall, I sprained my ankle in June. I haven't been able to do most things I do in the summer. I typically bike ride a lot, which I couldn't. After I could walk on it properly, I was able to kayak, but it took a while to just be able to hold my weight on that ankle while climbing up and down the ladder to get in the boat. The ankle still doesn't feel completely right. There are times I think it's back to normal, and then I'll get up one morning, it hurts again. I'm being told that I'm at an age where I just don't bounce back the way I used to. It's probably true. I don't really like hearing it, though. So I will keep taking small steps to get back to my pre-sprain life. Wish me luck, because, I really love pickleball. If you haven't played, you should try it. It is super fun. Never take your movement for granted, because you never know when you can lose it. Have you ever had a problem when breathing is difficult? Isn't that the worst? I've had a cough for over a month now. I had a negative COVID test, so it's not that, but I can't imagine how difficult it must be for those who do have it. I was watching some people on the news, and one woman, she's had symptoms on and off for months. She says she literally feels like she's drowning at times. If there is anything we take for granted the most, it's our ability to breathe. We don't even think about that. We just do it. I'm sure you've seen those commercials encouraging people to quit smoking who need an oxygen tank or a trach to breathe. Seems scary, doesn't it? There are other ways we can lose our ability to breathe, so don't think you are off the hook if you don't smoke, like any number of illnesses. Try not to take for granted the fact that you can breathe easily and do many things that others can't. It's kind of like when we finally started slowly getting out of quarantine. We never thought we'd be so happy to get out of the house, but we were, because we were shut in for so long. It's the same with having an illness that puts you out of commission. I hope after you recuperate, you live your life with more vigor and do all the things you couldn't do while sick. There are times that things happen, and sometimes they will never go back to the way they once were, be it a surgery or a long-term illness or an accident that incapacitates you, or even just aging. If you're of a certain age, you just wake up with a little bit more aches and pains than you used to. Can't run as fast as you used to. You can't do as many things as you used to. This is when it's really hard. This is when you have to find new things to find that will bring you joy. It's time to evaluate what you can still do and what you might have to give up. You can try new things you hadn't considered before. Maybe you will love long, leisurely baths, or maybe you can listen to music a little more often. Take up an instrument, get in a book club, start writing, or take up some sort of craft that interests you. Hopefully you will find something you love just as much as the type of activities you enjoyed in the past. Going through an illness or injury can be life-altering, even if it just reminds you how much you take certain aspects of your body and life for granted. The best advice? Stop taking things for granted. Get out there. Do stuff. All the stuff we were just talking about in that post that you keep saying you will do one day, because one day may be too late. I've been wanting to go horseback riding for years. I've never been. It's something I think about several times every year, but I never go. Guess what? I'm going. We are going away in a few weeks, and we booked a ride through a trail and along the beach. I am so excited. It is time to get to all of those things we have always wanted to do, because one day we may not be able to. I hope you don't let too many opportunities pass you by. See, already hump day. Halfway there, y'all. Halfway there. Go on and be the badass I know you are. And you know I'm right here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Just go do it.